Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
What are we talking about today?
We were going to talk about people that want to buy and sell, but we're in such a weird market that people aren't willing to put their house on the market before finding something now. And they can't, nobody's accepting a contingent offer.
This is the hardest thing. So people are asking about timing. Should I sell and buy? The answer is whenever there's a sale and a buy, it's not really timable, because if you're buying when things are low, you're selling when things are low. If you're buying when things are high, you're selling when things are high. I always think it has to make sense, and the opportunity has to make sense. I'm a believer that it's time in the market in real estate and not timing the market.
Well, and also I think what's interesting is I think a lot of people, when the prices were really high, sold, rented, waiting for the market to lower, and it didn't.
And what should all of those people have done? Sold and done what immediately after?
Well,
Buy.
They could have, yes, but they would have thought that they were buying at the top of the market again.
I understand. Timing the market is hard. So here's another example. Like, I can have $1,000 on the sidelines and invest in Amazon anytime I want. I can wait for Amazon to be at a specific price. I can actually execute a bid assuming it's going to be there, and it doesn't ever purchase it until it gets there. It's a beautiful thing. You can't do that in real estate.
No, you can't.
In the random, even if you look at a year, in that random year, you are only look at the homes that are being released in that random year. Why does that client need to move, or that one need to move, or that one? It's random. A lot of it is just random. So unless you're like a flipper or something like that, you have to look at real estate as a long-term hold.
Definitely. And it's interesting because I heard it spoken in some interesting terms, that the rates back of 2.5%, 3% have handcuffed people to their homes now. So that's got a stranglehold on the inventory. So now we know that really the only people that are moving are the needs to move.
Yeah, and then this again, that's how I think a normal person would think. They need to talk to people like you and me, because there are solutions, there are ways of mitigating risk, there are options they may not have thought about.
Always, right?
Always. That helps and make that easier. We're doing debt consolidation for some clients right now on cash out refinances, but they could have done just as much debt consolidation, maybe even more, bought a new house, equivalent payment to what they're experiencing right now, and even bought down the rate if the rate is the big thing that's the issue.
Right.
There's so many things that you can do. Like, I've had clients that, Jesse, I'd love to buy, but I can't get rid of that rate. I'm like, cool. You were going to sell that house and maybe put 20 or 25% down. We know you can afford it. What about 3.5% down? What about 5%? What do you mean? Well, you keep the house. You want to keep that house, you want to keep your 2.875 rate, keep it, rent it out, buy the new house. Now you have two pieces of property. One's at a 2.875, one's at a 6.5. You'll probably refinance this one down. You're mitigating your risk across multiple properties. It doesn't necessarily mean the client would qualify, they'd want to do that. But until you talk about what those options look like, you don't really know.
I think the biggest thing here is just to speak with a lender. And I think for whatever reason, people are just so afraid to have that conversation. I don't know why.
I do. They think the first call is going to be the blood sample, the credit pull, and tell me exactly what you're looking for. The first call is, I have no idea. Help me figure out what I'm looking for. Just like with a realtor, you tell them things you're looking for in a house. Like, hey, we need at least 3 bedrooms. We think we need this. We're looking in this area, but I'm not sure. What would you think? Cool. With those 5 goals, here are 5 areas that are going to work, and these 10 don't. Because you're in this business every day. I know the same thing. Within 5 minutes of talking to a client, understanding their payment goals, their cash goals, it's very easy to get them on track. To dispel the myths, I still have people to this day who think they need 20% down no matter what.
I know.
To this day.
Well, they're so scared of mortgage insurance. And something that's really interesting is, really, I think there are people like me that need visualization. And we need to see, mortgage insurance is not a deal breaker.
Yes.
It's very little at the end of the day.
Yes, and there's even ways of getting rid of it at a discount. So yeah, again, it's just, if you call Rocket Mortgage, you're going to be taken directly to a loan application link. They want you to literally apply before you even talk to anybody. Like, this is where the industry is going. There's like the low service, try to make it automated, and they're failing miserably, but it is capturing a lot of the markets. You got to give them credit. Or there's having the actual experience of an advisor, right? I have Quicken as an investor. I can sell loans to them. Like, their rates are not outside of my scope. Sometimes they're not the best and it's not the right play. But that's the difference, is you need someone to help you and advise you through this. I always try to equate this to make, you know, someone laugh first of all, but like just to kind of address the seriousness of this. I say, like, if you're on trial for murder, would you Google cheapest defense attorney?
Never.
No. So I'm just guessing that for everyone watching this video, 99% of you, the house is the biggest asset you own, and it's the most important financial investment that you own. So in my opinion, shop around for the computer, the laptop, the car, all that kind of stuff. Like, but when it comes to real estate, you need someone that is really, really good to walk you through that process. It's too important.
It's too important. It's like if you were looking for a doctor, you wouldn't operate on yourself.
No.
So you would get the best doctor.
I'd want the best doctor.
You're
not going to overpay for either of our services, but I would overpay when I'm going to a doctor for a surgery, or if I'm going to do anything with my teeth or eyes. Like, I'm not going to Google cheapest laser correction surgery. Right. Like, I want the one that charges a little extra because they're the best in the world. Like, that's who I want. So there are important things, and there are things you can shop for. I'm a big believer of being a consumer and shopping around, but just make sure you're also shopping the quality of the person, not their bottom line, because that's really what's most important.
100%. All right.